A few days ago, Donald Trump insisted that there would be very little turnout, very few people at the No Kings protest nationwide, and it ended up resulting in what might be the most relentless and widespread humiliation of Donald Trump's political career because attendance was massive. Official figures are still being tabulated. We may not know until later on tonight or tomorrow, but just one such example, according to the New York Police Department, the NYPD, 100,000 people showed up to protest Trump in New York City alone. This may end up becoming the single biggest day of nationwide protest in U.S. history. And in response, Fox is also trying to engage in cope and compensate for Trump, saying it doesn't seem like there's a lot of anti-Trump sentiment going on here, not a lot of appetite for it. I can't wait for you to see the cope coming from these people. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, I want to remind you of what Donald Trump recently said in the Oval Office just a couple of days before today's protest.
Stupid move. And they don't want to talk about it. You know, they have their day coming up. I hear very few people are going to be there, by the way. But they have their day coming up, and they want to have their day in the sun. But they should really make a deal. So what we're doing,
So again, he's referring to the No Kings protest. I hear the day's coming up. Very few people are going to be there. Very few people. And again, just as an example, this was Chicago. This was Chicago, just alone. One city, third biggest city in the country, but Chicago alone. We don't know what the official figures are. And according to according to NYPD, the majority of the No Kings protests have dispersed at this time, and all traffic closures have been lifted. We had more than 100,000 people across all 5 boroughs peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights, and the NYPD made 0 protest-related arrests. 100,000, all 5 boroughs, 0 protest-related arrests. That's how peaceful this protest was. You know Fox is going to be furious about that because they were salivating as most elected Republicans and Donald Trump and MAGA politicians and influencers frothing at them out. They were waiting, come on, please let there be violence. And it turns out, at least so far, it's been pretty damn peaceful in the biggest city in the country, right? One that Trump accuses of being a crime-ridden hellhole. So let's hear the cope coming from Kayleigh McEnany, Trump's former press secretary, as the No Kings protests unfurled. This is what she had to say. Think about the scale, think about the scope, and listen to what she says.
In one of the hot spots where marchers will gather today, you know, Nick, I got to be honest, the Trump rallies look a lot bigger than what we're seeing in New York today. I'm not sure there's a huge anti-Trump appetite here across the country, but you're in Portland.
So Kayleigh McEnany is reporting from New York City, the same New York City that they just said had 100,000 people peacefully protest. There has never been a Trump rally that pulled in 100,000 people. Trump gets big rallies. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he doesn't. But this idea that nobody showed up, there's not much of an anti-Trump sentiment, pure cope coming from this propaganda arm. They want their viewers desperately to believe, guys, everybody's just like you. I know you probably love Donald Trump. You know what? So do most Americans. He's like a 97% like approval rating. And if you like cut out like the illegal aliens, it's more like a 99.5%. He's basically a god. That's what morons like Kayleigh McEnany want you to believe, when in fact they are not the majority. Donald Trump has never won the majority vote. He lost the popular vote in 2016 and 2020 by millions, 3 million to Hillary Clinton. People talk about how unpopular Hillary Clinton was. She was objectively more popular than Trump by definition because she kicked his ass in the popular vote, 3 million more. Joe Biden, President Biden, kicked his ass even more, doubled that by 7 million votes. He dominated the popular vote. And yes, Trump won the popular vote in 2024, but not with a majority. Nearly a plurality. More people voted against him than voted for him in 2024. And the popular vote swing between Trump and Kamala Harris was about 1.5 million, half the margin that Hillary Clinton beat him by in 2016. Donald Trump is objectively the most unpopular president in the history of American polling. He's less popular today than President Biden was. Donald Trump has never been a particularly popular person. Now, he has a cult of personality, tens of millions strong. That's dangerous. But he has never commanded popular majorities. And this is what Kayleigh McEnany is refusing to comprehend. Yeah, just doesn't seem like anybody wants to show up. And the people who are showing up, they're definitely like George Soros funded, right? Total horseshit, okay? Let's take a look here. Just as some of the reactions in real time, millions joined No King protests across all 50 states over, this is from Twitter, by the way, 2,600 No Kings protests organized by Indivisible and partners drew millions in all 50 states on the 18th day of a federal government shutdown, rejecting perceived presidential tyranny and affirming popular sovereignty. Democratic leaders like Governor Gavin Newsom, Vice President Kamala Harris, Senator Bernie Sanders, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer endorsed the peaceful events. And you know what? It occurs to me, there is one brutal humiliation, speaking of No King's humiliation of Trump, that I do want to draw attention to because it's pretty damn funny. And it involves friend of the show, Mehdi Hasan, who gets pretty brutal here. I'm going to find this real quick. He makes a pretty funny comment about Donald Trump. Let me find the comment here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Sorry, it took me just a minute here, but I forgot about this. I was driving back from the No Kings protest when I heard this comment. It's pretty good. Let's take a look here.
Capital. All week, I've heard Speaker Mike Johnson and Republican members of Congress say that this rally, the No Kings rally, is a hate rally. A hate rally. The people who can't get through a single day without hating on late-night comedians and overweight soldiers and Muslim politicians and Mexican immigrants and Palestinian refugees and black women and transgender kids and peaceful protesters and Mr. Freaking Potato Head, they are lecturing us on hate? Really? I'm not.
Great point by Mehdi, that these outrage farmers, these rage farmers who hate everything that isn't them, they have no credibility to accuse others of being hate. And by the way, again, there were American flags being waved at the Charlotte No Kings protest, people reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing American anthems. It was a loving protest. Now, we don't like Donald Trump, but that's patriotic. It is patriotic to not like Donald Trump.
I'm here out of hate. I'm here out of love. I'm here because I love this country. I love America. I love the First Amendment. I love our democracy. I love our diversity. Yes, our diversity. And I am not willing to sit back and watch our glorious American multiracial, multicultural, democratic experiment, our constitutional republic, destroyed by the guy from Home Alone 2. Not gonna do it. Because I did not inherit America. I did not inherit America. I chose America. I wasn't born here. I immigrated here. And we immigrants, we love this country often more than the people who are born here because we chose to move here, live here, swear an oath to the Constitution here. An oath that the guy down the street violates every morning and every night. The great irony is, of course, that Donald Trump is the son of an immigrant, the grandson of an immigrant, and married to an immigrant. In fact, 2 of his 3 wives were immigrants, proving yet again that immigrants will do the jobs that even Americans are not willing to do.
That's a killer line. That was pretty badass. So, folks, there you have it. I mean, again, we'll get the official tallies later on today or tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It looks like they will at least be bigger than the previous No Kings protests. I'm excited to see what the numbers are. I'm excited to see that so far, knock on wood, it has been of widespread peace, that even the NYPD is publicly celebrating. It's a repudiation of Trump, who said no one's going to show up. They did. They absolutely did. And Kayleigh McEnany desperately trying to say, oh, the numbers look pretty thin. Trump rallies are a lot bigger. Nobody's anti-Trump here. Yeah, you're full of shit. And you got humiliated once again because you're almost always wrong. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.